Welcome into the live desk. My name is Janae Hancock. It is that time of the week. It is Monday, but it is also time for news you can use. So we are joined by Josh Planos with the BBB, the Better Business Bureau. Josh, how's it going? And happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, Janae. All good over here. Just thinking of warmer places as many families and consumers are these days.
Yeah, and as we speak of warmer places, I know a lot of people like to start looking ahead to spring break. It's crazy to think we're already in that time. So let's talk a little bit more about that. I know we should be on alert for scams this time of year. Once again, tell us a little bit more about what's happening with that.
Yeah, travel scams are really common throughout the spring. They're common throughout the entirety of the year, but especially in the spring as families prepare for that next trip. U.S. consumers lose a median amount of almost $700 every single time one of these incidents is reported, according to our data. And they do this by taking advantage of consumer habits. They capitalize on trending internet searches, and they entice consumers with those too great to be true offers to popular destinations or all-inclusive packages. So while this is absolutely the time you should be scheduling out your trips well in advance, you want to make sure that you're avoiding those who really don't have a great offer, but are in fact dangling a scam, either on your social media timeline or on your preferred internet browser.
And I know a lot of people will be taking to the skies, to the roads, on cruises possibly. What is the biggest scam you all see this time of year? I saw just a few days ago, actually, that a lot of people, they reach out to properties and they book Airbnbs, but sometimes even those Airbnbs don't exist.
Yeah, so that's really one that we've noticed as of late. We did provide a comprehensive scam study on rentals and rental related scams a few years ago. If you go to bbb.org/scam studies, you can read up on that. But yes, Airbnbs are ripe for fraud. Sadly, there are a lot of opportunities out there that look like places you'd want to stay, but are not actually available for rent. And in this case, that's precisely what we're seeing. That coupled with the amount of advertising that Airbnb and Vrbo are doing at this time make it an incredibly susceptible area for scams and scam related activity. We're talking about folks who are showing up at the front door for a property that is actually not at all for rent or not at all for the availability. And as a result, folks are out both the cost of that experience and the cost of the additional hotel or motel room. So we do see the vast majority of the scams perpetrated around properties that either don't exist or have very aggressive contract language that folks might not have experienced in the past. So that is why we always recommend that you do your homework, you do your research ahead of time, you work with trusted, reputable dealers who have had tenants before, folks who have online reviews, folks who have a website and contact information. So that way, if something should go, off plan, you have a recourse to get that money back and to rectify that experience.
And I know another tip that you had was to book early. For those people who might just be last minute, like I pretty much am most of the time, what tips do you have for them? I know you said maybe looking at the website and making sure that they are legit, but what other advice do you have for those last minute travelers?
Janae, you are not alone. So, and there is no judgment here on News You Can Use Monday. But we do encourage folks to allow plenty of time to research hotels, flights, and the stay area. Typically, the reason for this is the earlier those reservations are made, the better the deals are, and the lower the risk of the destination being booked solid, which is the case if you're looking to go to Panama City Beach or the Bahamas, right? So you want to make reservations in advance to lock in those rates, prevent higher prices later on during those prime spring break or peak summer or holiday travel seasons. You also want to double and triple check that URL. Make sure that you're on an HTTPS website because your account is far more secure and it's far less likely for your sensitive information to get out there. You want to make sure that that site actually has a proven track record, right? So double check that website against bbb.org. Make sure that they've been around for at least a season, right? You want to make sure that you're working with a company that is deserving of your business and has handled, whether it's an all-inclusive package or a trip to Europe, that they have been able to facilitate in the past such that you're working with a company that you can trust. But the URL is probably the most essential piece of information this time of year because sadly, there are a lot of scammers out there who are creating what we call lookalike websites which look just like your Expedia, just like your your favorite travel related site, but is one character different.
And this generation, I guess, just in our world today, we like to post on social media. We like to post photos and videos of where we're going, where we've been. But one of your tips also was to wait to post on social media. Why is that?
Yeah, so I promise I'm not trying to be the fun police here. It's fantastic to enjoy the sun and enjoy the scenes that the country that you're going to or the state that you're going to is has to offer. It's really fun to document that with your friends and your family, but you should probably wait until you get back from the trip. We have seen in the past that photos and social media posts of family endeavors having a great time also has let thieves know that the house is empty. Now, there are a couple ways around this, right? With your Instagram account, for instance, you can share with friends. And depending on your preferred security settings, it's a little, less likely that somebody would infiltrate your site, but there are also algorithms that are allowing scammers to document social media timelines for trips and all-inclusives. And if you do, just a little bit of research, you'd be very surprised at the amount of information you can glean from somebody's timeline. And just like when you leave, your house, you don't want to, buy a bunch of packages that show up on your front door because of what that indicates for your neighbors. With social media, it's the exact same thing. You want to make sure that your home and your residence is completely locked down, and the best way to do that, sadly, is to wait until you get back to post updates and photos.
A very good tip. That not only applies for spring break, but also just year round, and especially around the really busy holiday season at the end of the year. So, Josh, thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. But before I let you go, I always have to ask, is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, the one tip that I would offer is to pay with a credit card if at all possible. Doing so provides that additional layer of protection if something should go wrong with the travel reservation. So we do see a lot of folks who are falling for scams that involve cryptocurrency payments or peer-to-peer payment methods, right? It's very challenging to ever get that money back once it's spent, which is precisely why scammers request payment via those methods nearly every opportunity they get. So if you can give yourself that safety net, I think that is best practice. So paying with a credit card is always essential. And then, of course, if you experience something, please speak up. Go to bbb.org/scam tracker. Let us know that you experienced something so we can protect others from having to go through it.
And travelers can also go to your website as well to see if these other sites are legitimate. So thank you again so much, Josh, for joining me for news you can use on this Monday. Safe travels to everyone traveling for spring break.